Hello and welcome back to Whitney Alex Works recap of the Golden Bachelor Season 1, Episode 2, Gerry's Week 2. Before we begin, please like and subscribe here at Whitney Alex Works for more recap videos just like this one. Alright, let's dive into Gerry's Week 2 as the first ever Golden Bachelor. After the first ever rose ceremony was held, the 15 women moved into the mansion. I'm pointing this out because apparently Marina, a 60-year-old educator from Los Angeles, quit the show, but the show never mentioned anything about it the whole entire episode. So in actuality, 15 women remain after night 1. So with that cleared up, the 15 remaining women move into the iconic Bachelor Mansion, all very excited to have an opportunity to get to know Gerry better. Host Jesse Palmer comes in to greet the women and announces that he has the first ever one-on-one date card for the Golden Bachelor. And the first date card goes to Teresa from New Jersey. Gerry shows up to the mansion and picks up a very excited Teresa, and they head out on the California freeway. The problem is that the car's headlights aren't working, and this makes Gerry rightly nervous, but Teresa is there for him as she puts her hand on Gerry's shoulder, reassuring him that things will be okay. This immediately calms Gerry as he is very appreciative of Teresa's reassurance as they eventually get to their destination, which is a 1950s themed diner. They settle in and talk about their night 1 connection as they already shared a kiss. Teresa shares her story as she, like Gerry, married her high school sweetheart for 42 years. Her husband Billy sadly passed away almost 9 years ago, and Gerry is so understanding of her loss as they share very similar storylines. Gerry tells Teresa that he likes her a lot and they share a milkshake together and end up talking about how they will learn Italian and go to Italy together. And well, to warm our hearts even more, Journey's Don't Stop Believing comes on and the diner staff starts to break out into dance. Gerry and Teresa share a kiss and they get up too to start dancing. It's a charming moment as Gerry asks Teresa if she will accept the first one-on-one date rose, and of course she says yes. With the first one-on-one date in the history books, it's time for the first group date on the Golden Bachelor. Gerry and 12 women head to Malibu to participate in a classic romance novel-themed photo shoot. The women are going to be photographed by a familiar face in this franchise. Franco is back to take romantic and fun photos as the women have to dress up in various themes, with each woman getting a chance to take a photo shoot with Gerry. We had a 1970s themed, fantasy or a cottagecore type theme, leather jackets, or a wedding dress option. And with the wedding dress option, Nancy from Virginia is emotional as she too has lost her husband, and wearing a wedding dress brought back a flood of memories for her to deal with. Nancy opens up to Gerry about her emotions as she lost her husband 12 years ago. She admits that wearing a wedding dress made her overwhelmed by the experience. Gerry then relates and shares a story about when he smells cinnamon. It reminds him of Christmas time when Tony would make cinnamon balls. Nancy feels comforted and understood by Gerry, and they share a moment where they feel hopeful even though they both went through tremendous loss. Also on the group date, Leslie from Minnesota makes a connection with Gerry as they bond over wearing hearing aids. They end up whispering in each other's ears as they both are charmed by the other. But when it comes to the first group date rose, Gerry gives it to Nancy, securing her another week. The next day, Gerry shows up at the mansion dressed in yellow and walks in to find that nobody is around, but he soon finds that all the women are waiting to surprise him for his 72nd birthday. The women are so excited to share the day with him as we have grilling, piñatas, mini golf, and bunk bed talks. Gerry talks to Joan about her loss of her husband, and Gerry comforts her as they talk about how they want happiness and hope for the future, even after losing their spouses. And Joan and Gerry share their first kiss. Gerry also catches up with Faith, who didn't go on a group date this week, but got Gerry's first impression rose on night 1. They connect as they reaffirm their night 1 connection. We then catch up with Gerry and Ellen, who also connected on night 1 and on the first group date. Gerry gifts her a picture of them from the photo shoot where Ellen wore a wedding dress, and Ellen is extremely touched by Gerry's gesture. Soon we head to the second rose ceremony where, as a reminder, Teresa and Nancy are safe this week. Gerry calls out the following women in order, securing them a rose. First he calls Leslie, then Joan, Edith, Ellen, Sandra, Susan, Christina, Faith, April, and the last rose goes to Kathy. 12 women remain. Week 2 exits were Peggy, a dental hygienist from Connecticut, Natasha, a pro-aging coach from New York, and Jeannie, a retired project manager from Tennessee. And that's it for the second episode of The Golden Bachelor. Thank you for watching Whitney Alex Works recap of The Golden Bachelor Season 1, Episode 2. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe here for more videos in the future. See you soon for the next episode.